hype about living the dream? It's time for truth. This is the place for tools, power, and real talk so you can create the life you dream and deserve. Your ultimate life. Subscribe, share, create. You have infinite power.
Hello there. Welcome to this episode of Your Ultimate Life. This is a show dedicated to one thing, you. Helping you create what you want. Now, maybe you've already got everything you want. You might be healthy, wealthy, and wise right here, right now, or you might be in some other condition. I don't know, but I want you to ask yourself right now, do you have the life condition you want? The happiness, the purpose, the prosperity, the freedom, the joy. Purpose, prosperity, and joy are the three words that I use. Maybe you use freedom, wealthy, I don't know. But do you have it? That's the key. The words are whatever they are, but do you have what you want? And you might think, well, nobody has everything they want. That's not true. That's not true. I live in purpose, prosperity, and joy every day. It's not hype, not a bunch of junk. I do. I love every single day, every single thing that happens. I was just, having a conversation with a car dealer, and there was a deal that went a little bit south. I mean, I had a old car, 2008, and we had a particular dealership been servicing it for many years, and it's been in there, 20 times or something over the years. So they know everything about the car upside down and backwards. And they've asked me several times, because it's a fairly popular car in terms of resale, if I wanted to sell it. And I hadn't until now, but last week, my wife and I decided we'd sell it. So we called them up, said, what do you give for us? And of course, it was less than we wanted, but whatever. And so we talked a little bit, and then we agreed on a number, and we took it down there. And last Thursday, I'm recording this on a Monday. You won't see it till the end of January, but the story's interesting. So we made a deal. We brought the registration and everything. We signed it. It was a contract, gave it to them. They said they'd have a check ready in a day or two. So then all of a sudden, Friday, I was talking to him about getting some winter tires on our other car. And the guy got really nervous, said, I can't do that deal. And it doesn't matter why. But so over the weekend, Joy and I were, the point is, it's a situation that occurred that was not what we wanted. So we could have been uptight and worried and freaked out and, oh no, what are we going to do with it? And we wanted to sell it. We didn't want to keep paying insurance and put winter tires on that again also, and on and on and on. So anyway, bottom line is, I said to myself this morning, as I did my 2.5-hour morning ritual, we'll talk about that in a minute, because today is creating alignment. But let me finish the story. So I thought, okay, it is going to be whatever it is. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. And I am going to create miracles and magic from this situation. Not going to be uptight. I'm going to find out what the magic is in this mess. So called him up this morning. I talked to the guy, for a few minutes, et cetera, et cetera. We worked out a deal and we're fine. And so my point isn't the deal. My point isn't the mistake. They realized they'd made a mistake in assessment of something, and they shouldn't have, because they had records of 5 years and 20 service visits, et cetera, et cetera. Doesn't matter. The point is the attitude. So I spent zero time fussed about it. I spent no worry. Everything was fine, and it turned out fine. That doesn't always happen. But even if it hadn't, I still say, what is the magic from this mess? Or what is the magic from this mayhem? Or what magic can I create from this mud? Magnificence from the mud. And I believe that every problem has the seeds of a greater opportunity. And I'm not the first one to say that. There's a quote that goes like that. So today I want to talk about creating alignment. And that's why I mentioned it as I did my morning creation process. What is alignment? Well, first question is alignment with what? Now, if you've ever done anything like installed bookshelves or, anything like that, you might probably use a level, right? because then you see if you're level to the ground, and that little bubble in there helps you know that. Level to the ground, you got it made. You're good. And you put in the brackets and hang it up, and 2 or 3 shelves, you step back, and ooh, it's nice. There it is. Done well. Because your work was in alignment. You had a level and you had the tools to make it line up properly so that it functioned like you meant it to. It didn't look funny and didn't have things fall off of it. All right. So my question about alignment is, if you're going to create alignment, you got to know just intuitively that alignment creates better results. Think about a sports team. Now, right now, as I record this, and when you hear it in January, it's going to be football season in the U.S. Football season in Canada ended with the Grey Cup a little bit ago because it's a lot colder here, so they don't play in the wintertime. They start a bit earlier, and their Super Bowl, it's called the Grey Cup, is November. So it was a couple of weeks ago as I record this, a month and a half ago as you hear it. So anyway, the team that's in alignment, they know the goal. They're trying to get the ball down the field. They're trying to get it over the goal line. They're trying to not, get it intercepted, and they're trying to keep the other player from going. But everybody's got clarity, not only about the overall goal of the team, but about their individual goal so that they are in alignment. Like the quarterback doesn't try to do blocking and usually, and the end doesn't run and be the linebacker. I mean, they don't do that. So they can create some cohesive alignment. So I want you to think about alignment in your life. In order to have an alignment, you have to have a goal. Like the football team or the basketball team or the hockey team or whatever, there's an alignment of purpose, making points, winning the game, moving toward a playoffs or championship or whatever. So there's an alignment there. If you don't know what your goals are, then you can't very well think about, are my actions, is my calendar, my schedule, am I in alignment with what I'm trying to create? It's just haphazard. Now that's obvious, but I bet you, and I see this over and over again. People tell me, as a coach, I talk to tons of people, right? So people tell me all the time, I want to achieve, often it's money, I need to make more money. My business needs to make more money. I need to write this book. I need to sell some books. I need to get a promotion at work. I need, it's money. So the natural question as a coach, just like an athlete, if I'm working with an athlete and they say, I need to get this time down in this event, then I say, okay, what's your goal? Where are you now? What's your goal? What's the state record or world record, Olympic record? What are they? What are we looking at here? Okay, good. Then we go over the practices. What are the best practices for that achievement? So, for example, I have a client who owns a gym, and it is not just a 24-hour gym. It is that, but it specializes in people that are competing in competitions. So they have all the supplements, and they have routines and trainers and everything that are for, people that are serious about this. The ones that are trying to compete in some competition. In order to do that, they have a whole set of things, certain circuits, certain focus, leg day, back day, head day, not head day, but you know what I mean. That's all obvious. And so when I have people come and they give me a goal, then I say, okay, what are you already doing to do that? What are you already doing? And so they'll list the things that they're trying and working. And then we get into this alignment issue. Are there things you're doing that are out of alignment, that are contrary, that take you somewhere, some goal, some direction, not consistent with your stated goal? Inevitably, there are. And how slow the progress is directly proportional, obviously, between, the direction and how many things are out of alignment. How many things are not lined up with the goal they've declared. And that's not a surprise. Nobody's going to think that's weird. So creating alignment is a process about defining a goal, looking at the actions that go to that goal, and then looking at your own performance, time, energy. I call it TAL, time, attention, and love. And what I mean by that is, if I want to finish a song in the studio or I want to finish writing a book, how much time I spend on it is directly related to how quickly I can do it. But that's not the only thing. It's time, attention, and love. Attention, and there are other words you can substitute, and you'll think of your own as I do this. Attention is when I'm doing a thing, how focused am I on that thing? If I'm practicing, I'm trying to learn a song, maybe I've already recorded it, but I'm trying to get it ready for performance. Tomorrow night, I've got a coaching session with my coach, my vocal coach. So I'm working today and tomorrow on a particular song I want to work on and so forth. But if I'm working on that song and I'm thinking about something else, I'm worried about that car thing I told you the story about, or I'm worried about, I'm worried about something else, then my attention is not all there. My practicing isn't as good. My focus is not clear. I'm sure you've done this. You're thinking about one thing and doing something else, and you stumble, you drop something, you spill something, you're driving distracted and you have a wreck. That's a serious example, but that's exactly the same thing. So if I practice, or if you practice, or you're doing something and your attention is 100% all in, totally focused, in flow, right there, your practice is going to be 10 times more effective. And what I mean by that is your retention is going to be way higher. Your ability to grow in whatever skill you're developing is way higher. So people say practice makes perfect, and that's not really true by itself, because you think hours on the piano bench. For me, practicing was that all my life. Hours on the piano bench isn't directly correlated. It's what's the quality of the hours on the bench. Now think about raising your kids, if you have them, or how you were raised. Time spent is one thing. The quality of the time, the focus, the attention, the love, the caring, that changes the value of the time by 10 times. So attention is the way I describe that. You can call it focus. You can call it whatever you want. So time and attention. The third one I call love. And you can use whatever word again there you want, but that means the emotion, the intensity of my desire for the goal. So I might be playing with my kid, and I'm playing with the kid, but I'm not happy about it. I'm frustrated. I let some other negative emotion come through, right? Or I'm trying to write a book and my attention's there and I'm trying really hard to write, but I'm scared that my book will be stupid. And so the energy that I bring to the situation subtracts from my ability to get it done. So if you're trying to create alignment, which is increase in power. So if you want to get wealthy, you have to have alignment between your actions, your attitude, and your intention in order to make it quickly. So if your actions are the ones that create wealth, and your attitude is, I'm going to be wealthy, I know it, and you have the I love money, not in a negative way, because that goes to your intention, which is, my intention right now is to reach 300 million people. You know that. And the reason I'm trying to do that is I want you right here, right now to understand you're a divine being and you have the ability to create anything you want, any amount of money, any amount of influence, any amount of power. You can do that. Now, the road, if you have high goals, the road's steeper, but you can get there. If your intention to do it is to be greedy, I'm not saying it is to be greedy, it's what's in it for me, I got this, lord it over people, then that is out of alignment. So creating alignment has to do first with defining where you're going. I talk about this show as being, your ultimate life, purpose, prosperity, and joy. Do you know where you're going? This year's about to end. By the time you hear this, it'll be January. So the year just started. Where are you going this year? What is 2025 about for you? If you hear it 5 years from now, then it's in the past. But what is this year about for you? Do you know? I'm going to have a better year than last year. What does that even mean? Be really clear. Alignment responds powerfully to clarity. if you know exactly where you're going, it's easier to get there. So a funny example, Joy and I have a vacuum cleaner that needs to be worked on. It's a Dyson, and that's a particular brand. And apparently many vacuum shops won't work on them. And so I was looking up a vacuum cleaner place here in Edmonton that would work on them. And I found a place that one of the testimonials was, the other vacuum shop wouldn't even look at my Dyson, and my ears perked up, right? But this one, they did it, they fixed it, blah, 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 blah. So that was like, okay, cool. So then yesterday was Sunday, Joy and I, after church, we took a little detour going home, and we drove right where that vacuum cleaner place is. So we knew, even though I knew it was closed on Sunday, and I don't go to the store on Sunday anyway, just because Sabbath is a day of rest. But so anyway, we drove there and we know exactly where it is. That creates an alignment. So when I get ready to take the vacuum, another day this week, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, because I'm recording this on a Monday, I know right where it is. My purpose, my focus is aligned. What does that do? I get there faster. I get there with less problems. I know right where I'm going. I have a clear and totally focused intention. Now, I know those are silly examples, but they apply to everything. They apply to everything you're doing. So here's my heartfelt wish for you, and then we're going to talk about how to do some of this. Get really clear about what 2025 is for you. And if you hear this in a year that doesn't make sense, then whatever your next 90 days is. Like, what is your first quarter? What is your next 90 days going to look like? What is it going to create for you? Are you going to create more money? Are you going to fix a relationship? Are you going to get out of the hospital? Are you going to change the way you eat? Are you going to get rid of an old habit? Maybe you drink too much. I used to do that. Drugs and drinking used to be a real problem. So that was a clear and present goal for me at one time. It's been many years now, but it used to be. And it was a very clear goal because it was wrecking my life. So what is your goal? What is the next 90 days about? That's step one. Write it down. Be absolutely clear. If it's making more money, you're selling real estate. You're going to sell how many houses and create how much money in commissions. So that's clear. And don't put a range. Don't put, well, maybe I hope it's this much. That's garbage. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't mean anything. Set a number. Then work backwards. Say, okay, what are the actions of a person, a successful real estate person, that will sell that many properties, that accumulative value if you're working on percent commission? So what are the actions? And you'll know right away if it's something you already do. How many contacts? How many listings do you need? How much time do I need to spend looking for buyers? And whatever the actions are to do that. I write books and do music and coach clients. So I know how many hours it takes to write a book, how many hours to edit, how much time in the studio, how much time it takes speaking to people to find those that are anxious to improve. My work as a coach is as a facilitator, an encourager. Sometimes the knowledge that a client seeks is exactly what I have. Sometimes it's not. I have a client right now that's in the nonprofit business. They help people create nonprofits. I don't know anything about creating a nonprofit. I do know a lot about running people, about management, leadership, business, P&Ls. I know a lot about that. So depending on what the goals are, I may or may not know exactly what they need to do in terms of mechanics. But the most important thing is that piece of alignment. So as you think about your goal, number one, be absolutely clear. Do what, by when? And that's two simple questions. Do what, by when? So be really clear about the what. Precisely and exactly what are you going to get done? What will your bank account look like? What will your body look like if you're getting in a different shape? What will your relationship be like? How will you know? And then the by when is not a range, it's a date. March 31st. By March 31st, I will have $50,000 in my bank that is unencumbered, no debt, clear, free, and all my bills will be paid otherwise. That's the goal. That's clear, $50,000 unencumbered dollars, March 31st. Now, that may or may not make sense for you as a goal, but it's an idea of something completely specific. I'll have a book done, edited, up on Amazon, and run a bestseller campaign by similar date, March 31st. That's a clear and specific goal. Okay. Then the next step is, if you're creating alignment, which is the most powerful condition in which you can create the results you want, is where am I now? I have an outline of the book done. I don't have an outline of the book done. I have an idea for the book. I have 10 words written. I have an outline and I have 2 chapters. Like, where am I now? Right? Now, one of 2 things is true. Either you've done what you're trying to do before, or you haven't. If you've done it before, or something very close to it, then you have a pretty good idea of what it takes to get from where you're at to where you want to be. And then, so you know the steps, you know the process, you know the roadblocks, the barriers, the challenges, you know that. If you haven't done it before, or something quite similar, then you don't know those things. You can make them up. But that doesn't have to stay a mystery, because there's somebody that's done it. There's someone that has done it before. And because they have, you can find out. Like, information is free. Hear that again. Information is free. What's not free is courage, encouragement, staying motivated, discipline. Those things are not free. They may or may not cost money, but they certainly cost intention, alignment, willpower, framework, coaching. They cost something. If you don't know how to do something, I guarantee you can figure out how to do it looking it up online. It didn't used to be true. Like, 30 years ago, that wasn't true. You couldn't find out how to do lots of things. Really, or it was very difficult. Today, with the internet, you can find out how to do anything. The question is, are you in alignment, meaning your time, your attention, and your love or intention, are they clearly focused on that? Now, what gets in the way of having time is clear. People tell me, this is important to me. I really want to get this money made or this book done. And I believe them, but then I say, show me your calendar and show me your bank account. And I'll tell you what's important to you, because that's where it's most accurately reflected. That assumes, of course, the calendar fills in with exactly what you do. Show me your calendar and show me your bank account, and I'll tell you what's important. If you want to create alignment between your desires, the things you say you want or think you want, and the results that are living in your life, what you're experiencing, the money, the joy, the purpose, the focus, the relationship, that in having that in reality from where you are right now, that you need to look at how you're spending your time, attention, and love, or intention. A calendar's easy to fix. If you're going to do a new thing, you need to figure out how many hours it takes and then put 5 hours or 3 hours or 10 hours a week in the calendar in a different color as a block. That's the step 1, and it's tiny, but it's daunting. Next, you need to make sure that you are either spending time or you have the resources to find out any how pieces you don't know. Time to do that also comes in your calendar, or it's part of what you just put in there. What I found, this is what Kellan found, the most important is to get coaching. And the reason is because it's really hard when you're going to do a brand new thing or redo a better version of something you've done before. It's hard to do it alone. We get discouraged. We get frustrated. We believe we're not good enough. We're afraid we'll be judged. We are so terrified of judgment and rejection. Not good enough. It's beat into us almost from the cradle. School, grades, friends, jobs, failures, betrayals, embarrassments. All of that, beats that fear into us that we're not enough. And that shows up in procrastination. It shows up in the stories. Oh, it won't matter anyway. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. Who'll read it? Who will care? If I'm at work, my boss won't notice. It won't matter that I do this extra work and show up powerfully. It won't matter anyway. I won't get anything for it. And that's, the stories we have about that. They're not true, but we have them. So the reason I found that coaching is the most important resource for me, you'll do what you want, is that's a place where I can tell the truth. It's a place where I can be honest about what's going on inside of me, including the fear, including the doubts, including the struggles, including the failures, including the stories, and sometimes just the act of speaking those things out loud helps me reframe them and realize, okay, this is a crock. I'm not doing this. I'm not living in this motion of fear. I'm not living in this story of failure. I'm not doing that anymore. And I have someone then I can talk to help hold me accountable. Like I mentioned, I have a lesson with my vocal coach tomorrow. So what am I doing? I'm practicing. Have been for the last many days since last lesson, because I'm going to go there and perform, sing, try different techniques, to elevate the performance. Why? Because I have a goal. These exercises help me move the goal. Those principles are true for everything that you're going to accomplish. Now, if I fail or you fail, it is because there is a failure in alignment or there's a failure in perseverance. Perseverance we'll talk about another time, but I can be perfectly aligned, having all my attention, my time, attention, and love focused there, and I still fail. So that doesn't mean you won't fail. It means that your period of failure will be shorter. It means you'll have more courage to get up and go after it again. So every failure works to your benefit. So I'm not promising alignment prevents failure. What I'm saying is when you have alignment, failure is a so what deal. Literally, it's like, okay, that didn't work. One of the terrible stories about failure is when I fail, it means I'm bad. That story can be overwhelming and cause us to quit. Business, love, money, writing a book, being alive even. The truth is failure is just an interesting data point. It doesn't mean anything about you personally. It simply means that thing I did didn't work. That's all it means. It's no reflection on you. I might have believed it would work. I might have been told it would work, and it didn't. It's not a reflection on the person that told you. They probably weren't trying to hurt you. It's not a reflection on you as a person. It's simply a truth. I did that. I didn't get what I wanted. Okay. Now, if I am motivated with this alignment, right? My clarity of my time, attention, and love, then I just get back up and go after it again. Edison and the light bulb and all the rest of those times, all the rest of those stories are the exact perfect example of that truth. So creating alignment is a daily practice. My daily practice is I get up every morning and I do a 2.5-hour morning ritual. I create myself as the ultimate alchemist. Okay, the ultimate alchemist is healer of souls, lover of people, magnifier of prosperity. So I get myself in the place to love you, to help people with their discouragements, which I call healer of souls, and magnifier of prosperity, which is to help you not only achieve the goals you want, but to explode them. Now, this show and every episode is dedicated to creating your ultimate life, your own life of purpose, prosperity, and joy, however you define that. I am the ultimate alchemist to lead to that. I have walked that road and live it every day. No joke, no camouflage, no duplicity, no sneaky. It's true, and I love it. What's also true is I didn't get there automatically, overnight, or easily. Maybe there were other ways to get there, but I took the hard way. And the best help I got was good coaching. Encouragement, love, encouragement, ideas, accountability, all that stuff that goes with any good sports coach, vocal coach, music coach, drama coach, life coach, business coach, all come, if they're good, if the coach is any good, with ample encouragement and accountability. Okay, now I have 2 invitations for you. One is go to this URL on the screen, kellanfluckigermedia.com. I say this nearly every episode, and I encourage you to do it. Why would I say that? because there's a bunch of stuff there to help you get in alignment, to help you eliminate the demons and get rid of the stories that are not serving you. So go there. Just my name, KellanFluckigerMedia.com. Take a look at the books. Take a look at the stuff that's there and see if there's something to help you. Books aren't free, but some other stuff is free in terms of money. None of it's free in terms of effort. Okay, the second invitation is if you'd like to talk to me. I love talking to people. I love meeting you. I love getting to know you. I love hearing you. I love hearing your dreams and your aspirations and your fears and your worries and figuring out how we can create the momentum and the power you need, you want, you crave to get to your ultimate life. My goal this year is to reach 300 million people. I'm going to do it. Life and death, whatever I have to crawl over, I'm going to get there. So I'd ask you if you'd share the show. Share it. Let's get together. Talk to me. Let me get to meet you. I know for sure there's nothing you can't have. The tools, coaching, resources, and power are available for you to create your ultimate life.
Never hold back and you'll never ask why. Open your heart and this time around.
Right here, right now. Your opportunity for massive growth is right in front of you. Every episode gives you practical tips and practices that will change everything. If you want to know more, go to KellanFluckigerMedia.com. If you want more free tools, go here, YourUltimateLife.ca. Subscribe. Share.
Stand with your heart in the sky and your feet on the ground.